Okay, so last class, we basically did a review for the test, which again is on Wednesday when I'm gone, because there's no reason for you to take a test while I'm here when we can do it next time when I'm gone. And I said there were going to be some exercises that we did. So if you have anything that, I'd like you to retake the self-assessment since we went over it when you're going to be online anyway. So do the self-assessment when you get online to do this other project. So the idea here is that we're going to do some memory test review stuff today, that you're going to go to these three links here and answer the questions about them. And as you get done with each one, we're going to talk about them. So don't go to memory stick 3 until we've reviewed memory stick 1. Okay? So when everybody's done with one, I kind of need to know, and then we'll review that one together as a class to make sure we have a solid understanding, and then we'll go kind of on to 2 and on to 3. But if you're done first with 1 and we haven't reviewed, we go on to 2, we just don't go on to 3. Okay? So that's the first exercise we're going to do this morning. But I want to talk about what else we're going to be doing next in the class first before you kind of get off on that. So the next project kind of thing we're going to do is we're going to start blogging in the class. And has anybody ever blogged in any of their classes before? Okay, has anybody ever been to a blog? Yeah. I guarantee all of you have. Okay, you probably wrote blogs many, many times when you've done Google searches, because I'm going to guess about 10 to 20% of the websites out there anymore are blogs. So if I go and I Google how to do something, a lot of times I end up at somebody else's blog. Like, how do I install memory? Okay, and I guarantee you that if I look on these, at least one of them, PC World's not a blog, that one's not a blog, that one is a blog, that one is a blog, I think too. Lifehacker is a huge blog site, and in fact I'll go to Lifehacker because it's a good example of a blog. Okay, Lifehacker is one where they have people that work there, okay, but they frequently blog as part of their thing on something. So this blog is on Hack Attack, how do I install RAM? Okay, so they've got a blog or an online writing. Blog stands for weblog. Okay, but it's really an online. Can be used as an online magazine. It can be used as many, many different things. And we've got a blog site here at Trail that is made by the biggest host of blog sites, which is called WordPress. So this one is a hardware one. Lifehacker is. And you can see how many views it's had, and a typical blog includes pictures, includes links to other things. It is not huge normally. There's a lot of pictures embedded in here, and all these are pictures that usually if you click on them, you get a bigger, larger, I double-clicked on it, a larger representation of the same photo. This one actually isn't. That's almost the exact same size, but a lot of times you'll get a much bigger photo when you click on links in a weblog. And it's somebody reporting on or writing about something. Okay? Doesn't have to be PC stuff. There are blogs on everything. And usually at the end of a blog, there's spots where other people can reply and put their input in there. So the blog ends right there. And there are 8 people that have replied to it. You can like it on Facebook if you want to. And then it logs other people's comments on your thing. They can put in questions, or I can put in additional information. Hey, you forgot to say this. They can say you're an idiot if they want to. They can say whatever they want to on many blogs. A lot of them, the comments are moderated, and I will let you know all the comments are moderated on ours. So if or when you do your blog, if somebody puts in a comment that you're an idiot, it's not going to show up on our thing unless I approve it and say, yes, you can call Wayne an idiot because this was terrible. I would never do that. Okay, but so some blogs are unmoderated. Some of them are moderated by the author. Some of them are moderated by the editor. Some of them are self-moderated. Ours is a combination of moderated by me and the system. So it's supposed to automatically pull out spam. You should see, I mean, just as small as our blog is, hundreds of thousands of spam things come from all over the place. The people try to put ads up on your blog because they have bots that go out and try to put an ad up as a reply on your blog, so that if anybody comes to your blog, they're going to see their ad. And a lot of them are virus filled. They go bad places and stuff. So there's a lot that automatically get filtered out, which took me a while to figure out how to do that because it really stunk. I gotta go through 23 pages of deny on comments. So anyways, so this is what a blog is, and you can see this one has ads and stuff. Lifehacker is a company that makes money based on you going to read information here, and then hopefully they get paid by Staples to put this thing on the side, and they probably get paid more if you follow that link and go to Staples. So a lot of people make money on blogs, and you could have a blog, a personal blog that you put up at no cost, that people do continual blogs and make YouTube. It's kind of like doing YouTube videos that they sell out ad space, and people make money. Lifehacker started out with, I think, 2 people that started Lifehacker, and now it's a company. They do this, and they have people employed that blog all the time. Okay, and blogging's a great job because there's no office, right? Your office for blogging. If you become a professional blogger and you get paid to do that, you can do it from McDonald's. You can just take your laptop and have your own Wi-Fi, right? You can write it at home and then go online at McDonald's and post your blog. So this is what a blog is. It's a web blog. It's an online way to do articles and stuff. And we have one, and it's called NTIT Tech. And this is our blog. And this one says private up here because it's not. I'm logged on right now. Okay. So when we do blogs, we can make them so that nobody can see them until we're done with it. I'm halfway done writing this one. In fact, I started it a while ago and never finished this one. Okay. So it's one of those, sometimes I go on and I blog, and then I don't do it for a really long time, okay? So I've got, if I go through here, by the way, there's one site for all of our stuff here that have to do with technology, okay? So everything technology based is on NTIT Tech, and on the side here you can go to categories. So you guys are gonna blog on a memory review, you're gonna blog on a hard drive review, you're gonna blog on a motherboard review, you're gonna blog on, I don't see the CPU reviews, okay? So if you go to any one of those topics, if I wanted to go to memory views and click on memory, now I'm only looking at the ones that are memory blogs that somebody in the class has done. Terrible title, okay? Not a good title. Who's going to read that and know anything about what this blog is about, okay? And we don't use your guys' full name on your blog. In fact, it'll come up as one thing, and I'll change it to something else so that you can't see it. By the way, your blog will be up forever. I say forever because server can die, who knows. But when you guys do your blog, you can see this was done last year. When you guys do your blog, it's on the web. In fact, last year when I was talking about blogging, I went and Googled something, and our blog came up as number 2 on Google. It's right on the front page of Google. I was like so excited. Okay, so when you put up your blog, don't think, this is just something that's a trail. It's not. Okay, anybody can Google and find our blog posts on stuff, which means I'd like you to be accurate, not make spelling mistakes, not make it seem silly. Okay, so this blog, and we're going to kind of talk more about it, and is about one of the sticks of RAM that you guys did a review. Okay, so this is one person's blog talking a little bit about their background. And by the way, this is random who came up here, so I'm not going to say how good or bad of a grade this one got, but it kind of goes over the specifications of it. Okay, so that's a bad one. There's not a single picture in there. Let's see if we can go down and see. There's a little better title. At least we know what it's about. Okay, there's a picture. There we go. See the picture, and it should have opened up in a new page. Unfortunately, it didn't. Okay, and then we go on down to our specs, and there's a works site at the end. Not a great one either. The memory ones were first, by the way, just like we were yours. So the worst blogs were usually the memory blogs, because it was students' first time to do one, and then I gave them feedback. Yeah, obviously that one didn't do so well. Okay, this one has a little bigger picture. I should click on the picture like this one, and it opened up to a new page, so we didn't lose the blog, so I can still see the blog. Oh no, I did lose the blog. And specifications, and there we go. Links to new sites on stuff. So as we're reading through that, and again, I shouldn't leave the page Yeah, you guys will learn how to do that. But when we click on something inside the blog, the last thing we want to do is leave the blog. We want to open a new page. Okay, so we've got a couple links inside this one. Same thing, it goes to the specifications on that particular one, and then the specs are down here, and we've got a works cited at the end. Okay, and I'm just looking right now at all the ones on that category. There's ones that I did, like the NTIT reviews, these are all of them together. And this is like a staff review one. Ones that I did, like this one's mine. Okay, so this one opens up in other sites. So when you click on stuff, you're not on all of these. I should open to a new page. So if I wanted to read more on a specific item as I'm reading through there, I should be able to go to that new item every single time. But I still stay at the blog. Okay. So this one's a blog on how to use fog, which is one of the things we use in our class. And then there are a couple comments down here. I don't know. I didn't even read the comments. So Chris Carmen said, "Great write-up." And then I said, "I forgot to add one thing." Anyway, so that's kind of what a blog looks like. So we're going to do that in our class, and we're going to do it as it's kind of a writing across the curriculum assignment that they want us to do to help you guys do more writing, but do it in other classes so that you're not just writing English papers, you're writing content that has to do with other classes, but you're getting used to writing more. And I know some students are like, I hate writing papers. Well, this isn't a paper, okay? It's an online blog, but it's still writing, and you still have to edit your writing. You still have to make sure it makes sense. You have to read through it. One of the things that we're going to do is, as you guys do your blogs, I want you guys to have at least one person review it before you post it, okay? Because a lot of times we read stuff, and as we're reading through stuff, it makes perfect sense to us. We left out 3 words in the sentence, but in our brain, their words are there because we know what we meant to say. Well, that's right there. Oh, no, it's not, okay? So we always want to have someone else review before we go online and post something, okay? Because the last thing we want is to start to get emails in about you're an idiot, you didn't even, proofread your thing before you post it. So as we do this, no one can see it. It's private, like the one that says private, until we say post. And even when we say post, we can edit it anytime we want to, okay? And go back and change it. When you guys do your posts, it'll be up here. It's something that if you guys, 4 years down the road when you're in college, say on your college application, you're finishing college up and you got a computer degree in something, and one of the questions is, do you have a professional blog? It means that you can always say yes, because you did, right? Yes, I blog at NTIT Tech. And while you're in college, your account will stay open, okay? So while you're in college or tech school or whatever you do, if you're in a class that you do a paper on something that you think, hey, that could go on this blog. You guys, 3 years from now, can go on a blog and post a paper on there that you guys wrote in your class. And publish yourself right there on the blog. No one's ever done that, but I've said that ever since I started this, okay? Because if you're in a computer class in college, and you just wrote a paper that took you 3 weeks to write, why wouldn't you self-publish it and throw it up there if you were proud of it? If it's, wow, this is the worst paper I ever wrote, I got a D on it, maybe you want to get your grade back and proof the paper before you post it, but then when you're doing your applications later on in life, you can say, yeah, I'm published on NTIT Tech, I've been blogging there for 4 years, and it wouldn't be untrue, right? Maybe you only have 4 blogs on it, maybe you only do once a year, maybe you're like I am, and I got stuck back in December of last year. I guess it's December. Yeah, it's not that long ago. Okay, right? Yeah, it's just 2 months ago. It's not. I was thinking it was 14 months ago. Then it would be a really long time. It was 15, not 14. Okay, so I just want you to know that that's up there, and that's always going to be up there for you guys. Okay, so let's. I'm going to let you do the other thing. I just kind of want to introduce you to this and show you where this is. It's up at the top of. I'm going to switch the role. It's up at the top of the thing under E-Days and Blogs. And if we were to ever have an E-Day, that's where our E-Days are going to be, up here in the blogging E-Day section, okay? And I'll be honest, I use the blogs as E-Days, too. So depending on if we ever were to have an E-Day, which I don't think there's a very good chance at this point, but the reason I kind of held blogging off is because it was a perfect thing to fit in. I'm sitting at home I don't want to do completely new content maybe with you guys, but it's something I was going to do anyways, so it's a perfect thing that you could have done from home. But because that's not the case, so there's in here kind of there's a link to the blog guidelines. There's a link here to blogging 101 and how to blog, and we're going to go over it before the end of the day today and kind of go into it. But I don't want to do that before we do the memory thing. So if all else fails and we don't have time today, all that stuff's going to be up in here, and there's the link to the blog post on memory that we're going to do too. Okay. But right now, I want you guys to start the memory thing to make sure we're ready for the test, and then we're going to come back to blogging and how to get there. Now, just so you know, you should have gotten an email asking you to be an author on the blog site. So at some point, you guys have to click on that and accept that. Okay? But right now, go to the memory stick 1 and start out with that exercise. And I will be back in about 5 minutes. I apologize, but
We only have 3 minutes.
only have 3 minutes left. That's okay. Okay. So, and because this is really just an intro to it anyway. Okay. And then you guys are going to read the articles and the videos after you're done with the test, and you're going to get a chance to get started on there. Okay. So as I'm working on one, I'll save the draft anytime I want to. It doesn't auto-save. I have to hit save draft, and I've done nothing. It doesn't mean I've published it. Okay. It's still, status is still draft. It says visibility public. It's not really public yet because it's a draft and you haven't published it. Until I publish it, it's not going to be there. In fact, I can, if I'm nervous about that, I can go ahead and change visibility to private until I'm ready for it to be published, and I can change that anytime I want to. Okay, so and I'll go ahead and click update there. So now this is a private one so that nobody else can do. So right now it's privately published. Oh, I just published it when I said that instead of doing what I really want to do, but that's okay. It's still just me. Only me can see it, right? Nobody else can see it on there. So as I go through here, there are a lot of things that I can do, and you guys are going to want to play with the buttons. Don't feel like you're going to hurt anything while you're doing it. We can't just cut and paste a picture in here. If I want to cut and paste this picture in here, I have to add media. Okay, so I have to go and add media into my gallery, and then I go and post from my gallery into the thing. If I just cut and paste there, it's really not going to work. Okay, so there's some things. So see, if I wanted to use this picture, for instance, let me save that. There we go. I have to save the picture first, which this is a flash, so it'd be really hard. I'm gonna have to do a Photoshop to get that one, I think. I don't think I can just grab that one at all. But I would have to save it and then upload the file into my media library. Okay, because it has to. The way it works is the WordPress server is a server. It's like a cloud item, right? And you have to put that picture somewhere here first. You can link to things, so you don't have to always do that, because sometimes you can do this, right? We'll talk about it later, and you guys will see the video, and I will have you guys play with this stuff. The first one is a no graded. We're doing the first one, we're looking at it, we're talking about it, and then the second one's a formative grade, and the third one's a summative grade. Okay? So this first one's just to teach you how to use a blog. And you guys have the test next class, and then I will see you the class after that. You guys have a nice weekend, since I won't see you till after the weekend.